And welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Kyle and Murdy, and today's topic is the advisor. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who supported the company so far. If you didn't get a chance, go check us out on the web at murdycreative.co. That's M-U-R-D-Y, creative.co. You can also check us out on all of our social medias. The links are at the top of the website. Be sure to check out our Discord server. Link is at the top of the description below. We do a lot of cool behind-the-scenes stuff on the Discord. We get your information, get some feedback, tell you some cool things behind the scenes. So check that out if you're interested. So there's a comedian named Dale Jones, and he had a joke that I heard recently, and it stuck with me. Now, the way he tells it, his mom used to say, "You don't have a guardian angel. You're such a pain, God takes care of you personally." And it's a funny joke. It's a good joke. It's really clean. There's nothing on that joke. It's every word's necessary. And I was thinking about it, and theologically it's sound, actually, which is one of my favorite parts of it. But more importantly, and I think this is an element of this, that there's often different kinds of people in the world of Christianity sometimes. Some people are I am so broken, I am so terrible, things have gone so poorly in my life that I do need God to take care of me personally. I am such a pain. There's other people who are the kind that say, you know what, I wouldn't want to bother God by being, I go to church, I read my Bible, I do my devotions. I'm okay with a guardian angel. He can delegate it to a guardian angel. I'm doing good. And then there's the rest of us who have God as our personal protector, as the person watching over us, as our person right there. And we treat him like a guardian angel. We only ever go to him when we're in trouble, when things are going bad. And it's a little bit ridiculous. I mean, it's like running a business and having Mark Cuban, Mr. Wonderful, and the rest of the Shark Tank standing next to you in the room and ignoring them whenever you got big decisions, ignoring them all the time, right? Never asking them for the advice. It'd be like me deciding to take a painting, and I get my paints out and I get my canvas up and I just start working on it. And, I step back and I go, that's not quite right. And I look over and I say, Leonardo da Vinci, can you step out of my light, please? Right? Like it's not smart. It's not reasonable. It's totally unreasonable to think that we don't need God and to think that we don't need his help on every moment of every day. There's a C.S. Lewis letter in the Screwtape Letters where the demon elder, writing to his tempter demon nephew, is writing about how the patient that the younger demon is tempting has fallen into a very bad habit of praying for forgiveness, his pittance, not for some grand gesture, but for every hour of every day. And I was reading through that the other day, and I thought to myself, this is excellent. This is exactly the problem. This is exactly the point. I only ever go to God whenever things are terrible, right? I only ever lean on God when things are going poorly, and that's not exactly the way it's supposed to go. In fact, that's the exact opposite of how it's supposed to go. Treat triumph and disaster, those two imposters, just the same. So the question is what advice do you think God has for me running my business? And that's a very interesting question. And the answer is it's in the Bible. It's in his word, because that's how he communicates with us. And there's a lot of great business advice in the Bible, in case you're curious. But one thing that kind of jumped out at me was do everything as if you're doing it for the Lord. And that's a very simple command, but it has a lot wrapped up into it. Because there is an honest truth that sometimes when you're making something in general, if you're making it for your mother, if you're making it for a king, you might put a little bit more attention into it than perhaps if you were making it for someone else. But that's not really the way we should do things. And I don't think that's the right way to think about things even. They got me thinking about the realities of business today. One of the elements that we have been struggling with at the company is a sense of confusion. about what to do next, about where to go, about how to do it. And it got me thinking about last week when I was at a strategic planning meeting at church, and a gentleman that had come in to help advise us on the process of strategic planning had said something that I thought was really interesting, and I took notes in my mini cut, even though I had my file folder right there because I just didn't have as much table space. So it just goes to show you should have multiple products. One of the things that he said was that identity is not general, but specific to why God has put us here in this time, in this exact place. And identity has to be the focus. Activity is derived from that identity. Now, most organizations focus on activity. That doesn't matter, that churches, businesses, schools, anybody. Organizations focus on activity because activity is measurable. You can, if you're a church, you can see how many people are in the pews on Sunday, how many people are communing, right? If you're a church, or if you're a school, how many students are in attendance every day? What are the grades of those students, right? If you're a business, it's what's the profit, what's the general gross revenue, what's the costs going out, right? Activities are measurable. And so we often look at the activity as the thing we are doing. But that's not the right way to look at it. Because the problem is when the activities are the focus, you tailor your identity to fit the activities rather than the other way around. I do want to give a shout out to one of our Discord members. And Mr. Cordone, you have given us quite a bit of good advice and a lot of support over the years, so thank you very much. But you had recommended a book called Product-Led SEO. And I have just started it. I haven't got very far into it, but even the title alone can give you a bit of a hint about what it's about, product-led SEO, right? And one of the things that I think matters in all of this is you have to have the identity first. The identity has to be the core of everything. From there, the activities can flow. And as I was driving home from that meeting at church, I was thinking about the Murdy Creative Company, and I was thinking about our identity and the challenges that we have had over the past, and the fact that many of them come from an identity crisis. And I was thinking about this. Because what I was thinking about when I was thinking about this identity crisis, what is our identity? I realized that I want our identity to be quality American craftsmanship built to last a lifetime. The advisor had said that it should be a slogan that you should be able to put on the back of a t-shirt. It should be that specific and that clean, right? It should not be complicated, long, and ornate. It should be that specific. And the why in that identity is critical. And a big part of that identity is not just where you would like to be, that vision that when I grow up I want to be, but it needs to be where are you right now? What are you doing right now? And why has God put you right here for this moment to do this? And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about it. It's because so much of the world today, so many of the products today are garbage. They are garbage pretending to be quality. The world has built a system of generating garbage with the guise, with the veneer, with the facade of quality. But the problem is that facade falls away very quickly because garbage is garbage. And no matter how much lipstick you put on that pig, it will always be a pig. And so for us, I do not want that to be our identity. I will not allow that to be our identity. We are going to make quality that is good quality. We are going to make products that are not garbage, that are designed and built to last forever, at least as long as we can possibly manage. And I think we've done that. And the problem is this, that means that the products will be expensive because you can't have garbage that's expensive. Well, that's actually not true. You can have garbage that's expensive. In fact, that's what the rest of the world has built their identity around. That's what they like to emphasize, the idea of profit, because creating garbage that's expensive is exactly how you generate the most profit. It is also unethical. The only ethical way to live, if you are going to make something expensive, is to make it the best possible product you can make it. And for us, that's what we've done. That's why our leather is incredibly expensive. That's why our hardware is incredibly expensive. That's why our designs are complicated and very difficult to build in some ways. Because they are built well. That is our identity. All of our activities need to flow from that identity. Our products are built well. They are built with the old school mentality of we build these well. The 1940s were marked by an era of American craftsmanship and American production that was top-notch quality. That was the very best. And my father pointed out that a big reason for that was because when you were making the products that you were making, it might be the bullet that is going to go in your son's gun overseas. It might be the shoes that he's going to wear as he storms the beaches of Normandy. And so you put every bit of your energy into making that product the best it could possibly be because it's your child's life on the line. That was the mentality in World War II. And that mentality carried on into the 40s, later in the 40s, and that carried on even into the early 50s. Because the idea was we are going to make the very best because we can. Because everything you should do unto the Lord. Do unto us if you're doing to the Lord. So for us, that's an era that we missed, that I missed. I never got to experience that era. And I miss it. I have this nostalgia for something I never experienced. I have this desire to live in a world where everything is made domestically by people who care deeply about their craft and who believe in this country and what we stand for. And frankly, I think we would all do better if we had fewer items that were made of better quality. I think that is the identity that we need to have as a nation. But I can't control that. All I can control is myself and my company. And so for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And we in this company will make the very best products that are built to last a lifetime. And we'll back that up. And I need God in that process. Because without God, without that higher power that I am serving, without something beyond myself, my company, my own personal desires, there's no reason not to make junk and pretend it's quality. And that's the problem that I think is percolated throughout our entire society, through our entire world, is we have lost the idea that what we do is a service to God. And if you want to see what that kind of service looks like, just look at the cathedrals in Europe. The stonemasons that crafted those, every time they put their chisel to stone, they knew that they were making something for God, for His glory. And that's why those cathedrals are still standing centuries later. Without God, without that higher purpose, without that understanding that what we do is not just for ourselves, but for our others, for our neighbors, for our community members, for our customers, that service to other mentality, and that service not just for profit's sake, but for bettering the world and for bettering our community, that is necessary to succeed. Not just on the macro level, but also on the micro level. And a lot of our issues that we have had, a lot of the challenges that we have gone through are because we have lost sight of our identity and what we are trying to do. We've got so focused on saying, how can we build as big as we possibly can? How can we expand? How can we grow? How can we sell volume to businesses as business to business? And that is a activity. That is a good activity in concept. But it's away from our identity. And I've had to come to terms with the realization that I don't think God's plan for me is to run some 20, 30, 40, $100 million leather company. And that's probably okay. In fact, I think that is okay. If God's plan for me is to run a small leather business that makes the very best product and sells it directly to the customers for a fair price and supports the people I support in my company, pays the bills for the people that pay, get paid. That's a very good calling. That's a noble calling. And it's one that I shall do with a smile on my face. And be grateful, even in the hard times, especially for the hard times, because it is through the refiner's fire that we get stronger. It is through hardship, it's through struggle, it's through difficulty that we sharpen our tools. And I'm glad. I'm grateful. And I'm glad that I have such an excellent advisor. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Be sure to check back in next Thursday for that next topic. And don't forget to check that subscribe button to be sure to get notified of our latest podcast. If for whatever reason you have any issue with your product whatsoever, we are happy to help. Reach out to us on the main page of our website at murdycreative.co. There's a contact form at the bottom. We'll be happy to help you there. You can also send us an email at sales@murdycreative.co, sales@murdycreative.co. You can also give us a phone call, 414-434-9001. We're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time. You can also text us at that number as well, 414-434-9001. If for whatever reason you don't get a hold of us, please do feel free to leave a voicemail. There's only 3 of us in the company, and so there are times when all 3 of us are doing production and we don't hear the phone ring. So if you don't get an answer from us, I promise you it's not because we're ignoring you, it's just because we may not have heard it. So please do leave us that voicemail. We'll give you a call back. If you think we deserve it, a good review can go a long way to help us grow. Check out all the reviews on our new review page at murdycreative.co/reviews. That's where you can go read all of the amazing reviews. If you want to, you could leave us a review by going to murdycreative.co/review or murdycreative.co/leave a review, and that'll take you to one of the pages that we use to leave reviews on. Right now it's Google and Facebook. We may be changing that soon. It's all over the place. The goal is to get our reviews and have them available for customers to read them, just so that they know what we do is the best. So please, if you like your product, if you have good things to say, we really do want to hear them. It does help us. It encourages us. It keeps us in good spirits knowing that what we are doing is meaningful to people. So leave us a review if you'd like, and go read the reviews if you want to know more about our product there. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising, so tell your friends, tell your families all about this product. You go to murdycreative.co. In the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little rewards section. There's a shareable link there. If you share that link with your family and friends, they get a discount. You get a little money back when they make that purchase. So it's a great way to help everyone in that process. So definitely go share that. If you are looking for multiple items for gifts, giveaways, menus, really any reason, we have bulk discounts available, and they are built directly into the cart. All you need to do is add everything to your cart. You can mix and match to your heart's desire, anything you want, and then it'll automatically detect the quantity and apply the discount. The new version of it actually should show you the discount before you check out. We're still testing that, but if you go and you add a bunch of things to your cart, it should automatically apply the discount to them as you add them. So that's minimum order quantity of 5 gets you the first level of bulk discount, and from there you can go on. So it's not even that many, and you can mix and match. Certain elements are not included in that. For example, the add additional name engraving, that doesn't count as an item towards your minimum. So just keep in mind, if for whatever reason you're like, I have 5 things in my cart, but it's not getting, it might be because one of those items is not actually eligible for the bulk discount. Certain accessories are like that. I think the pen specifically is like that. So definitely, if you have any issues whatsoever, you want to talk about that, you want to get a little more information on that discount program, send us an email. We're happy to help. We'd love to talk you through it. If you're looking for a custom engraved item, we have no minimum order quantities and no setup fees. It's a simple flat fee, normally about $15 per item. And that $15 is actually eligible for the bulk discount as well. So if you're going to get a whole bunch of them, it can be a lot less than $15 per item. You can check that out by going to any of the product pages. There's usually a blue button that says Add Custom Logo. If there's not a blue button, you can still get a custom version of that product. You just need to send us an email and ask for it. We'll put together a mock-up for you and then send you back a custom order link for the mock-up that we created. If you're going to do that, be sure to include the image you'd like engraved or anything like that in that original email when you request that, because that helps us make it so that we can make it exactly how you like it. Otherwise, if you'd like to do that, you just hit the blue button, Add Custom Logo. It'll take you to the custom version of that product. Once you select all of the different things you'd like, and you can launch the customizer from there. From there, in the Customizer app, you can upload logos, you can add text, you can resize, rotate, all things you'd like. And then once you're all done, you can hit Add to Cart. One thing to note, if you're going to do that, be sure to log in before you do that, because what you can do in the Customizers, you can actually save designs. There's a button that says Save. If you are logged in and you save a design, in the future, if you want to reorder that design, all you'll need to do is log back in, and you can go into the customizer for that product and you can open your saved designs. It's actually a really cool tool. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. Once you add it to your cart, you can go into the cart and adjust the quantity if you're looking for a bunch of them, and then you can hit checkout from there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and goodbye.